Hey guys, and welcome to our Christmas edition of Into the Indies. In this episode, we are going to be discussing the pros and cons of gaming and the effects that we perceive that it has on our bodies and personalities and whatnot. So,
well, and it's not just us. We actually have done research. We've looked at Harvard. We've looked at some medical foundations and stuff
what
like
I'm
that,
saying is, I'm not going to start talking about something if I don't have like experience at a personal level.
Definitely, but we're just saying this is backed up. It's not just like. Just throwing crap out there.
Recently, a Harvard medical study surveyed about 1,000 public schoolers. By public schoolers, I mean like high school students and college students, and people younger than that. So a wide variety of people to get, not only the casual but the hardcore gamers. And it basically concluded that video games can actually be beneficial in brain development and education, as long as it's used correctly as more of a teaching tool rather than something like playing Manhunt and just senselessly murdering children or whatever. So,
or playing from 8 until 4 in the morning.
They have also concluded that it can teach problem solving and can be instructive in helping children learn how to express their creativity. Games with a cooperative mode or whatever, where you have to work together with other players. It teaches leadership in a lot of people who tend to be like the leader of whatever group it is. And it can teach mediation, like being able to problem solve within a group and talk it out with people. Because a lot of times in games, people will have a dispute over whatever, and you'll have the leader of the group will end up mediating that dispute.
Mm-hmm.
It can also teach persuasion. So, for example, we were playing GTA 5, and I was being kind of a turd and constantly murdering Jonah for no apparent reason to him, and I eventually persuaded him to the fact that the more time we played that game mode, the more money we made. So,
yeah. Something that I kind of really think that's cool that they also kind of backed up was that. And I have personal experience with this playing like NHL, is what happens is you'll play a sports game and then it will actually like motivate you to go out and try something. So like I said, I'll be playing, like NHL 2K15 or something, and I'll have my character do some sick, toe drag, backhand toe track, spin around and snizzy top shelf. And then, I want to go out onto a pond and try that. So it's been found that other kids have that stuff too with FIFA and just general sports games. They'll actually want to go out and try some of the sports stuff, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, it provides opportunities for kids to teach. Actually, roughly 1/3 of kids that play video games, they play them a lot of times because they like to teach kids how to play them and stuff like that. Or that's kind of a bad explanation, but like for example, a lot of times I like to play a game more than my friends do, just because I like to know more what's going on, so that way when they come and play the game with me, I can be like, oh yeah, and then...
That happens a lot, because I'm just like, wait, how do I pull up my phone? He's like, arrow up, and I'm like, oh!
Yeah, so I like being able to do that, because I hate being like lost in the dark about a game. And sometimes it's fun to be like totally noobs, but at the same time I also like knowing stuff. There was a study done on action video games, so games such as Far Cry, Skyrim, GTA, Call of Duty, Battlefield, all that, Halo, all those series, anything that's defined as an action game. So basically most of the games that are controversial, most of the games that parents see as like teaching their kids violence and whatever, a study has shown that it actually improves the child or whoever's playing it, their ability to process visual information. So it hones like visual spatial skills. So, which is really basically understanding where your body is visually and physically in relation to the rest of the world around you. So it also allows the gamers to track moving objects. That are moving not only faster, but it allows them to track them more efficiently and effectively than other people.
As well as multiple objects as one.
Yeah.
Not just one object, but 2 or 3 at the same time.
They can also filter out irrelevant information. So for example, in a video game, a lot of times you have to track your character through a whole bunch of obstacles, and sometimes there's like explosions, and in Mario there's stuff that gets in the way of your character, and it's hard to track them sometimes. So when they do this in games all the time, it's easier for them to, filter out irrelevant information in the real world. As a real world application, if I'm driving and there's somebody biking off to the side of the road, and I don't need to pay attention to him, it's easier for gamers who play a lot of action games to filter out that visual information and focus on what they need to be focusing on, which is on the road. Study also showed that gamers, as opposed to non-gamers, can switch more quickly and efficiently and effectively from one task to another than, people who don't game. It has also shown that gamers who play a lot of action games have better detection of changes. So, for example, if I'm looking out at a cityscape and one light turns on, I'm more likely to notice it than somebody who's not gaming. This one's not quite so important, but it can still have some real-world applications. They're more accurate in predicting how a three-dimensional object will look when rotated. So basically, they're accurate at predicting what the other side of objects is going to look like.
That's just cool. Another thing that was shown was that after playing games, subjects show an increase in intense brain activity that's actually a higher level of brain activity than you get when you're doing like high-level math. So that just shows like how much your brain is actually firing when you're playing some of these games. So no, parents, your kids aren't going brain dead. They're actually exercising that muscle.
That being said, a lot of times...
Don't play for 12 hours straight, because that's just...
Yeah, a lot of times the reason your brain is firing that much is either because you're thinking creatively. The reason that your brain is firing off that much is one of a few reasons. In strategy games, you're actually thinking of strategies and trying to process information like stats and whatnot. That goes for RPGs as well. In games with a lot of customization, your brain is reacting to its creative side and trying to think of things that are creative to be able to customize your character or whatever to make it more yours. Another thing is a correlation. They haven't proven this yet, but a correlation between increasing your visual attention skills has also been linked to decreasing the effects of dyslexia. Basically, in simple language, that means they have found a trend with gamers who have dyslexia that the more they play action video games, the more that they learn how to disregard irrelevant information visually, the easier it is for them to deal with their dyslexic symptoms. So basically, action gaming can help dyslexic children. Another thing found in this study was that those who play these kind of games improve their spatial rotation skills, as we stated earlier. But not only goes for predicting the 3D objects, but it includes actually understanding how objects fit in relation to others. So basically, the study, to almost quote it, it says, it works for anywhere you need to make objects fit. So that's like parallel parking or whatever. It allows your brain to more accurately predict where you are in relation to other things, so it makes it easier for you to do stuff like that.
Yeah, because you better understand, where the edges of your car are, or bike, or whatever you're trying to fit into the next object. You just understand the side that you can't necessarily see better than people who don't play.
One of the really good applications that was brought up in the study was mechanical engineering. A lot of times, people who are mechanical engineers who are doing really well in their classes are also gamers, in their free time. So we listed a whole bunch of good things, and I'm going to leave it over to Jonah to do the bad things, because he's the Debbie Downer of the group.
Yeah, so usually, he's the one crapping on the games, and I'm the one that's all like, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, but today it's reversed. I did all the research on what was actually bad about games, and...
Well, before you go on, I want to explain. I was challenged by somebody to do this video. They were like, I want to see you do something more productive with your gaming reviews, and I got really mad at them, and so I did all of my research out of anger and spite.
And then I was like, I kind of came into it and I was like, Cameron, you've only found good things. We need to talk about the bad too, because it is important. So I did the research on the back.
That's important.
What I found is that after looking on multiple medical institutions and universities research, I found that there's only a few negative things about video gaming. What are you doing?
I'm trying to make him scream.
Stop. There's only a few bad things about gaming, and what they really are is that overplaying can lead to increased aggression and a decrease in physical activity. So basically what that means is that the more violent video games you play, the more desensitized you are going to become to violence and killing and death. And at the same time, the more hours you play video games, the less amount of time you're going to be outside, working out, playing sports, all of that stuff. So, you know, that stuff kind of goes without saying, but it is an important thing to remember, don't overplay. Another thing, like
we do.
Another thing that we found is that staring at your screen for an extended amount of time is actually really bad for your eyes. And also, late at night, another thing that we do a lot.
We're bad,
if you're playing late at night, the blue LEDs in screens will actually make it very difficult for you to fall asleep. So even though, you know, sometimes you can say, or people are probably saying, oh, I can fall asleep right after playing video games. Well, is that because it's 4 in the morning and you're just exhausted, or, you know? What I'm saying is, like, it does...
It's 4:30 in the morning.
Exactly, like, you're just tired. Like, if you're playing and it's a reasonable time and you're like, okay, I should go to bed, it's going to be more difficult to go to sleep because of the light in the screens.
Yeah, most doctors actually recommend that you don't use any sort of screen an hour before you go to bed, just because it helps with sleep patterns and circadian rhythm. So, that is actual real doctor advice that I was given. That I don't heed at all.
Nope. But really, that's all that I found for negatives was the increased aggression, decrease in physical activity, and the eye stuff. So really, my advice for gamers is, it is fun to play a lot, and I understand that because I do it all the time, but try not to play for hours and hours on end. Even if you're going to play for an extended amount of time, it's really important to just get up, walk around, get a drink of water, like take a quick break, because I've actually been told by my doctor, like, if you're gonna sit down and play, like, get up every, 30 minutes to an hour or so, and just, like, take, like, a couple minutes break, and it'll do wonders for you. It's actually way better for you, but make sure that you're, like, living a balanced lifestyle, eat healthy, go outside, get some exercise, and then play your video games. But for parents, there's ratings for a reason, and I honestly don't agree with a lot of them. My thing is, go online if you're interested in getting a video game for your kids, and, like, actually look at why the game is rated like that, because, like, some games are, mature that could definitely just be teen, and vice versa even. So don't just kind of pick up the game, say, ooh, it's M, I can't get this for my kid, he's not 17 yet. Like, look at it and then maybe go online and be like, okay, why is this game rated this way? And actually do some homework. That way your kid can enjoy a game that he or she should be able to enjoy.
So, on that note, there actually is a website ran by the Dove Foundation that is meant for parents, and they give some really in-depth ratings of the games. Like, I've seen on games, like, a specific number of F-bombs dropped, a specific number of whatever's dropped, and it gives you, like, it's actually kind of funny to go on there and, like, look at it, because they have these, like, fun little, like, icons that help you, like, rate different aspects of the game. Like, they have, like, it's like a little circle, and then inside the circle there's a different symbol. Like, for drugs and alcohol, it's like a little martini glass, and, like, if it has one martini glass, it's like a little bit. If it has, like, 5, it's like alcohol in every scene. So, and it,
GTA.
Not only that, but it, like, writes a little review, and you can, like, expand the review and, like, read more in depth, like, what's going on. And it actually gives you a suggested age too. So so it doesn't say, like, oh, this is meant for mature audiences only. It's like, this is meant for, like, 15 and up or whatever. Right. And that's really nice, and we'll link it in the description. So yeah, the Dove Foundation runs a good website. That's what my parents used to use.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode of Into the Indies. I know it was a little bit different, but we think that this is something important and like that it should be shared. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and in the next episode we will be back to reviewing indie games. Just want to say this, there's a couple things that you guys should all go check out. If you haven't looked at the Novemberfest videos yet, totally go do that on Better Than Coffee. They're amazing. The other thing is,
some of them are.
On the Balanced Gamers channel, we are about to release our first video on that channel, and it is a almost an all-nighter. We actually did end up going to sleep for a couple hours, but basically it's us playing video games all night and vlogging every single hour with highlights and everything. It's a really cool video. You guys will have to go check that out. Make sure to watch our other Indies episodes, and yeah, just get out there and game. And
subscribe to Better Than Coffee, subscribe to my channel, Cat Gamer, subscribe to his channel, The Tranquil Gamer, and
we'll see you guys next time on Into the Indies.
If somebody comments on any one of my 2 videos, I'll post another one.
This is a scrub.